So episode 7 begins with us listening in on the WLF radio chatter. They're still not using coded messages, even though Ellie just broke into one of their most important hospitals and killed one of their own people. Now you could say that they think Ellie is one of the Scars. However, she openly fired on Nora with a gun multiple times, and the Scars don't use any form of complicated technology. So the Wolves would know that someone is infiltrating and killing their officers, yet they make no effort to conceal valuable information.
Not a great plan.
The camera then cuts to Jessie and Dina as they're dealing with her arrow wound. Before Jessie takes the bolt out of her leg, he offers Dina some whiskey, which she refuses, because she's pregnant. You're telling me that you're willing to take your unborn child into an active war zone, risking almost getting torn apart by zombies on multiple occasions, but taking a sip of whiskey is too far. Oh no, we can't do that. It might harm the baby. Glad to see that Dina is consistently inconsistent with her concern for her own child.
I'm gonna be a dad.
Not long after this, Ellie shows up worried about Dina. Not worried enough to make sure that she's safe right after being hit with a fucking crossbow, but somewhat concerned. Actually, hold up a second. How the fuck did Ellie get out of that hospital? We know from the flashback in episode 5 that the WLF sealed off the basement. So I'm assuming that means that they closed off every exit in order to contain the spores, and since they saw where Ellie went, wouldn't that mean that there's soldiers either waiting by the elevator, or at least trying to seal it off? It's not like they would leave that door exposed, right? But hey, if I've learned one rule from watching this show, it's just not to think about it. So Ellie tells Dina about how she went to town on Nora, and that she feels kinda bad about it. She even says that she's unsure if Nora deserved to die. Wait, are you really having second thoughts about this yet again? How many times is this show gonna make Ellie question her motivations for revenge? She crossed half the fucking country to be here, and has put her and Dina's lives at stake just to kill these people, and now she's doubting herself? Get the fuck over it and go get revenge, or stop and go home. Pick a fucking lane here, woman! But no, of course we need to drag Joel through the fire yet again, as Ellie explains to Dina that he set all of this in motion when he killed the Fireflies. Hey, just so it wasn't clear before, I think Neil Drunkman wants us to think that revenge is bad. So the next day, Jessie and Ellie decide to go find Tommy so they can all leave Seattle together. Why are you leaving Dina completely alone and defenseless when she is severely injured and pregnant? She can barely walk, yet neither Ellie or Jessie even consider this. Jessie has already trekked the entire part of the city alone, so why does he all of a sudden need Ellie to come with him? What is Dina supposed to do if the WLF, the Scars, or zombies just happen to show up? She can't hide or run, and worse yet, Ellie and Jessie could both die on this journey. Then she would really be fucked. It would make so much more sense for Jessie to go alone, meet up with Tommy, grab the horses, and return and grab Ellie and Dina. Or better yet, all of you go together to meet up with Tommy. Clearly, Dina's rest or safety isn't a major priority for these characters, so bring her along. But no, we gotta have Ellie go with Jessie so this teen soap opera can continue. It's honestly funny watching Dina limp into the room with neither of these characters trying to help her. Jessie tells her that she should be resting, but offers no physical support to get back to bed. Why the fuck are you letting her walk around to fend for herself? Are women so fucking powerful in this universe that they defy basic human survival instincts? Also, why are these girls not showering Jessie with praise at this point? He saved Dina's life twice in the first 5 minutes of meeting back up with them, and all she can do is look at him with some kind of contempt. Man, you'd think that all the men would learn by now that it's never okay to save a woman's life in this show. When will they ever learn? So Dina gives Ellie a good luck charm, and then her and Jessie head off to meet with Tommy. Oddly, there's no loving goodbye here, just a silent walkout.
Yeah. Weird.
Again, this could very well be the last time that Dina sees either one of these people alive, and yet she just stares at them. Anyway, Ellie and Jessie make their way through the streets of Seattle, which is followed up with more pointless drama between the two characters. However, Ellie actually does thank Jessie for saving her and Dina, which honestly was the biggest plot twist of this entire episode. I don't understand why she doesn't have more scenes like this, when it would go a long way in improving her likability. Eventually, Ellie and Jesse witness some wolves catch one of the scars. Ellie, of course, wants to intervene, but Jesse stops her as there are 6 men with automatic weapons, and she has a fucking pistol. This makes Ellie angry for some reason, even though Jesse just explained that they are heavily outnumbered, and it's an unnecessary risk.
Okay. Get the fuck out of here. You're done.
Okay, so I guess I have to go beat for beat here on how much of an idiot Ellie is. In the literal scene before this, Jesse explains that he has become a father and that his top priority is to get Dina and his child to safety, to which Ellie seemingly agrees. Not a minute later, she tries to get both of them killed in order to save some random cultist. Why? All you know about these people is that they're insane fanatics that have attacked you on sight. Odd to put your life and Jesse's on the line for a random enemy. And it's not like Ellie's heroism has been consistent throughout the season. She sat there and watched the Scars brutally kill a soldier only the night before and did nothing about it. Why didn't she feel the urge to save him? After all, it's almost an identical situation, and there they actually killed him in this brutal and medieval ritual. Oh, so you're just gonna sit there and let this happen? Where is this reckless moral code now? Oh well, I guess it only shows up when we need some drama in the story, right? Gotta love it when the characters serve the plot instead of the other way around. And again, do I need to remind you that Dina is waiting back at the theater for you to rescue her? All Ellie would accomplish here is getting herself and Jesse killed, as well as putting Tommy and Dina in real danger since they are relying on them for help. But I guess we shouldn't be expecting much forward thinking from Ellie at this point, and it's only gonna get worse from here. We then cut to Isaac talking to his lieutenant about the big attack they're gonna do on the Scars' home base. Now this scene is out of context and feels clunky as fuck as we barely know anything about these people or what they're planning. It's only in hindsight that we come to understand that the WLF are assaulting the island that the Scars live on. But this brings up another big problem with this season. Half the story is missing.
Oh, right, yeah, of course.
Instead of telling the story from multiple perspectives simultaneously, like almost every other show with a large cast, The Last of Us instead tells Ellie's side of the story in Season 2, and Season 3 will focus on Abby as the main character. Now, I am aware this is how the second game told its narrative. However, this is not a video game. It's a TV show. And needlessly telling half the story to the audience is confusing and clunky. We are left wondering huge questions that could have easily been answered. Like, why are the WLF and the Scars at war? Are they fighting over territory, resources, beliefs? What is it? Why or how did Tommy get into a fight with the WLF? And how did Jesse get him out of that situation? Tommy just appears at the end of the episode without a single explanation as to how any of it played out. Why did Abby, Mel, and Owen leave the WLF? How did Abby just spawn at the theater? Well, don't worry about it because 2 years from now we'll get all these answers when they make Season 3. Had they just told this story more linearly with jumping perspectives between Abby and Ellie, the whole season would have ran a lot smoother. And it's not like they didn't have the option here. Drunkman and Craig Manzin chose to tell the story in this way. They chose to give us 7 episodes when all they had to do was double the season's runtime and not end it on this god-awful cliffhanger. We could have learned so much more about Abby and her friends, as well as the war in Seattle, instead of knowing nothing about them. It would have added weight to Nora, Mel, and Owen's deaths. It would have also helped the pacing, especially with the Ellie and Dina episodes that go on forever. But no, instead all of this will play out next season. We're gonna see all of Abby's friends, don't worry, but now we'll know exactly how they die, which will ruin the investment in their characters.
And we end on Seattle, day 1, as we set up Abby's journey of what happened on those 3 days.
How about new, you crazy Dutch bastard?
So I'm going to leave things here for a moment and continue analyzing the finale in part 2, which will be coming soon. So thank you for watching, and if you like my content, I have many more videos on The Last of Us you should check out. As well, there's the Middle Seats podcast with my buddy Toller Talks, so if you like listening to me and you want to hear more, go check that out as well. And if you're new to the channel and want some good karma, then please hit that like and subscribe button. We're building a community here, and I'd really like you to be a part of it.
Toxic community!
And like always, I'll see you on the next one.